guys, this video is going to be money saving tips, and this is just going to be about money saving tips in the planning stages, and then I'll do another one on dining, and then I'll do another one on extras. Okay, first up, a little housekeeping. Oh, got a brain fart. Check out my Facebook page, Shelby Frick with Vacation with the Magic. I am very, very proud to be an independent travel agent with Vacation with the Magic, and we are an earmarked agency, so we know our Disney stuff. Forwards, backwards, inside out, up and down is fantastic. My main love of Walt Disney World is doing itineraries. I actually love sitting down and figuring out the itineraries for your family for your trip. That is my it saves you time in line. Like, that's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. Check out my blog, my Twitter, my Instagram, all of that is down below. Please, if you like this, comment, like, subscribe. That would be great. So money saving tips in the planning stages. And this came about because I belong to a podcast group. Oh yeah, I'm itching my ear. Okay. So this came about because I belong to a podcast. And we were trying to come up with some ideas for a show. And somebody said, hey, how about some money saving tips? And I was like, whoa. Do I have some money saving tips? So when I sat down and I wrote them all out, which I didn't even get to discuss all of them on the podcast, which is MouseLife. So check that out as well. I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this as videos because it's going to be 3 videos. I think I've got it narrowed down to 3, and I'm really hoping they're not long. Because you guys need money saving tips, and the cat has destroyed my house. What the hell? Oh, sorry. So, anyway. Okay, side note. Do any of you have cats? If you do, Alice, we have 2. We had 3, and Owen passed away right after Christmas. He was 17 years old. So, 15 years old. We have Alice and Jack right now, aptly named. He's not Jack Sparrow. He's Jack the Pumpkin King from Nightmare Before Christmas, and she's Alice from Alice in Wonderland. And when they turn 6 in February, because I know my cat's birth dates, she started doing this thing where she goes upstairs and gets the kids' stuffed animals. And she's tiny. You've probably seen her in my previous videos. She's only 7 pounds. She doesn't care if they're bigger than her. And she starts bringing them downstairs. And last night, she was up trilling so loud with these stuffed animals. And I wake up in the middle of the night, or wake up in the morning, and there'll be like 6 of them just around the downstairs. They'll be on the stairs. They'll be outside the kids' rooms upstairs. So I don't know what is going on. Does your cat do that? Is it normal? Because she didn't do it for 6 years, and all of a sudden she's doing it. So, okay. All right. So money saving tips, planning. First up, my first tip is to start planning early. Now, this can be hard because although you can book a room 499 days in advance, you cannot book a package until they are released. So this is March. Actually, no, this is April. Oh, got it. April 2018. So packages have not been released yet for 2019. And what is a package? A package can be, it's not room only. It's room and tickets, or room, tickets, and dining. Or if you're an AP holder, which is annual pass, you can do a ticketless package and just do room and the dining plan. So you can't book those until they are released. And usually they're released in. So how can you really start planning early? Especially if you want to go, let's say you want to go in January of 2019 and the stuff isn't released until June. How can you plan it? Some people think, and this is not true, that you can book a room only, and then when the packages are released, everything just transfers to the package. That's not how it works. It is 2 different systems. There's the room only package, or there's the room only reservation, and there is the package reservation. So if you book a room only reservation, knowing that you're going to want a package, when packages are released, you have to cancel your room only reservation, which Disney will refund you your deposit for that. Then you can book your package. Now, this has never happened. But let's say you have a room at Pop Century for your room only, and you still want a room at Pop Century. You're canceling that and booking your package. That room might not be available. That has never happened. So I actually wouldn't worry about that. But like concierge and club level, it could happen. Now, So how do you plan early? And this is what I advise. I have lots of people on my 2019 waiting list. So if you would like to go in 2019, let me know and I'll put you on my waiting list. And as soon as those packages are released, I have some questions for you. And then as soon as those packages are released, I will email you a quote out as soon as they are released, and you will know your budget. And then you book through me and everybody's happy and it's less stress for you. Say you want to go in 2019, you want a package. This is what I tell my clients. How to start saving your money? Buy Disney gift cards. Put all that money into Disney gift cards. Then when it is time to make the reservation, put down the $200 deposit and start paying it off. You can pay it off in Disney gift cards. So that's a great way if you like to keep track and separate the money. So on this, start planning early. I say use a travel agent. That's number 2. Look, here's one. Travel agent. Those jazz hands. I have not had enough coffee today. Hang on. I got my Kylo Ren mug today. Oh my God. And cat hair. I'm covered in cat hair. So I'm not surprised. So using a travel agent is because when it comes to Disney is not like other places. I believe Disney time is money. So you don't want to waste time in. I'm telling you, drinking game every time I say so. You don't want to waste time in line. You don't want to waste time on the phone when free dining comes out or when a discount comes out. Or on your computer. You don't want to waste time, getting up I get up usually on dining reservation day, 5:15. But dining reservations are made at 6, so there you go. And fast passes are made at 7. Maybe you can't because you have to go to work. Because you have to get the kids up and get them ready for school, right? So, and you want to make sure you get that flight of passage fast pass because it is so cool. This is why I'm here. Hi, once again, jazz hands. This is why I'm here. I'm a little loopy today. And if you book through me, everything's free. My services are free and I'm here for you. Text me and call me and email me. Whatever is comfortable for you. I am here for you to ask the smallest to the largest question. So, and you have me, always available. I'm usually available. I like to sleep, but I try to answer as soon as possible. Even if, the kids are around, it's usually not a problem for me to text out a question real quick because I usually have the answer in my head anyway. All right. So my next number 3 tip for money saving planning is to visit the park strategically. And if you want to get the most out of your park day, you arrive early, around 45 minutes to an hour before the park opens. You also, once again, this comes into the itineraries, and this is what I love to do. I love to make sure that you, as well as my family, rides the most rides, sees the most attractions, watches the most shows before that crowd starts really rolling into the park. Number 4 is travel during the off season. If you can do it, yank those kids out of school and travel when it's a little bit cheaper time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you about the off season. It is becoming smaller and smaller, and last year it was during the summer. So if you can take the heat and the humidity, there you go. But if you have a question about when is the value season, when is the off season, just ask away. I will let you know. Number 5 tip. Yeah, see, I'm loopy. Is go right before your child turns 3. But they won't remember it. Blah, blah, blah. But it's still magical for you, and you don't have to pay for them. You have to pay for their flight if they're 2. But if they're under 2, you don't have to pay for their flight because then they're a lap baby. Yep. So you don't pay for their dining, you don't pay for their tickets, you don't pay for them in the room. It is fantastic and it is magical. And it's a different trip. When we first took the kids and they were teeny tiny, it was just, it's still one of my most favorite trips of all time. My number 6 tip is to consider a multi-day ticket. Yeah, so even if it's a single day to get into the Magic Kingdom is $105, we'll say, for example, the more days you have for park tickets, the cheaper park ticket to price, like the smaller the ratio becomes. Usually it starts around the 5-day mark and you will see a tremendous drop off. We are going for 8 days to Disney because we're throwing in a day in Universal. And it is averaged out to be $40 a day, which is pretty damn good, actually. We also have the park hopper as well, and that's going to be really utilized this trip. So if you can do it, it's fantastic. So maybe have a one longer trip every few years than a couple shorter trips. Does that make sense? And if you are going to do those shorter trips, maybe get an annual pass. That'll save you some money because then you can get shopping discounts, dining discounts, parking, hotel, resort discounts. So, and my final tip for planning is to spend a day doing non-park activities. And people like to do this, have this break in the middle of their trip. And maybe that's going to Disney Springs or hanging out at the pool. Or you can even do dining. If you're on the dining plan, you can still do the character meals and dining at any resort. So you don't have to be staying at that resort. That might be a great day to have a character meal at, the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, which their dinner is fantastic at 1900 Park Fair. If you haven't been, you have to go. Walk around Disney Springs, check it out, maybe go to a water park. I know that's a non-park activity. I consider it, it's not one of the 4 major parks. Or go play miniature golf or putt-putt. There's tons and tons of stuff to do. Go explore Fort Wilderness. Go check out the stables. Go for a carriage ride. There's a ton of stuff to do that's non-park related. So I hope some of these tips will help you save a little bit of money for your Walt Disney World vacation. If you have any questions, please ask away. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.